Greetings and welcome to EnergizeUtv, Season 7, Episode number 13. Are you feeling stuck in that self-sabotage? When you know what you want to do, you know what you should be doing, but you know what? You're not alone. There's so many of us. And did you know that science tells us this isn't just willpower problems? It's a brain wiring issue. That's why this week on EnergizeUtv, I have brought in a globally recognized expert to help you fix this, to help to see it. And today, and that is why it is stuck to unstoppable. The science of ending self-sabotage. Ooh, these are gonna be writer downers, so you definitely want to. And you know what? Right here in the Ignite book, we take every week is where we get our theme. So raise your energy in 30 seconds or less naturally so you shine with more energy, joy, and abundance. Get your signed copy today. Come along with us because it's so much fun to be with us. Now, I am so excited because this week's wisdom segment is featured by a Lightworker, best-selling author, and international speaker. Simone is amazing, who is famously known as the trainer of trainers. She joins us today to reveal the powerful keys to breaking free from self-sabotage cycles and help guiding you to ignite your genius. Writer downers, so go get your pencils. Remember, I am the water pusher and the breath pusher every day on the stories on Facebook and Instagram. So please go get your water and take a deep breath. Beautiful, beautiful. But you know what? There's so much more waiting for you because a favorite of so many is the exciting Crystal Connection segment where we'll explore the crystals and the element of the week. And then the energy awareness, always a great one to understand and amplify your energy and understand what energy is because that's the biggest buzz. I see everybody coming in. Thank you for your chat fingers. Welcome, welcome. And a top pick by many is the energy clearing and reset segment. To release and reset your vibration. Oh, that's a beautiful one where we're just being able to do that. And you know, one of the viewer favorites is the Reiki for Life, where we'll dive into the Reiki tips and some of the tools that help you to get through self-sabotage. And also a highly requested one is at the end of the show is the personal calibration, where I'm going to do that transmission meditation. And that is always a highly requested one. So stay tuned for that later on and go ahead and be kind, please. Your sisters, your brothers, your family, your friends, they want to get unstuck. And that's what I do as a spiritual counselor, as the energy alchemist, is help move energy and energy healing. So please go ahead and share this with everyone because they want to get unstuck too. And I know you want. Now let's go to my first quote. I love this one is we don't get stuck because we're broken. We get stuck because we allowed our emotional trauma to become the conductor of our daily energy. Think about that. How many of those T's, I don't even like that word. We got small T's and we got big T's. And when those happen in that emotional, it can get us in that self-sabotage. But I told you, I got an expert coming on today. She's going to be helping us out. But yeah, let's go to the first one right now, right here, segment, which is the energy awareness. And I promised you, science tells us that everything is energy, isn't it? And again, these are writer downers, so go get those. And let's just go to Einstein because I love this thing. Because Einstein showed us that everything is connected through energy. Even things we can't see. I mean, it can't be destroyed. It can't be changed. You can change the form of it. But really, that's all you can do is change the form of energy. It will always be there, right? So if we understand that, have you ever walked into the room and your stomach dropped? That's energy. Have you ever gone and you hung out with somebody, a lot of people say me, and you're like kind of, and then all of a sudden you're around somebody and your energy starts to lift because they're lifting? That's energy. That's when you say, oh, wow, I got a smile on my face. Why do I put my smile on my face? Because you're in that field of energy. Again, thank you so much for being here. So remember this, that your energy around you is called a biofield. Now, in this biofield, it's like your own personal bubble. It is. And we also call it the aura. We That's kind of a little more on a metaphysical plane, but they call it the aura. Yes, that's me and my aura one day. So understanding that you have a biofield, an aura around you, and it is always shifting and changing. And just like this emotional frequency, vibrational frequency chart shows that when you're in shame, blame, guilt, fear, trying too hard, coulda, shoulda, wouldas, what's going on? Yeah, you're in a lower field. You might not feel very good. But when you start to bring it up to that joy, that love, that grateful gratitude, that peace and compassion, what happens? You start to feel better. And that's really what happens. People ask me all the time, Angel, you're diagnosed with lupus, fibromyalgia, arthritis, Sjogren's, neuropathy in my hands and my feet. I'm in chronic pain all the time. How do I put a smile? How do I do this? Because it's understanding that when you're in grateful gratitude, which I'm always in, peace and compassion for my life, and that joy and that love for life, that love for self, the love for everyone, everything, and humanity, what happens? It raises my energy. And in that energy, it's your heart is actually beating, and also, yeah, it's beating, but it also gives you more electromagnetic field in that rhythm. It's very powerful. It's more powerful than the brain because it actually creates a measurable magnetic field that projects beyond your body. And yes, and just remember something, and I think this is the important part, one of the very important parts too, to remember something. You're always conducting your energy. And remember, just like a musical conductor with an orchestra, you can learn how to do it in your own life. And that's why, just like I do, when I go and I hold space for events, I've been doing this for years as the event energy conductor. And one of the places that I do is the eWomen Network Phoenix, that I hold space at with the energy of people, space, in events. And the thing is I also have done that virtually on a virtual show also, and then in person just last week I was there with this beautiful breakthrough experience. So it can be done in person, absolutely. And remember something, I really want you to step back for a second. Here's the exciting part. You're already an energy conductor because you can move energy, you can balance it, you can manage it, and you can change the form of it, and you do it all day, and maybe you don't know it. And that's why I have my VIP experiences. But the big thing is just like tuning an instrument, you can tune your own energy. Write that down, swallow that big, because you can do this. And I've seen you, and you are the amazing one. So take an energy reset just for a minute in your energy and know that you can do this. Now, as we move forward to the next, we're going to go right now into a spotlight moment with the amazing Nancy that will be joining us next week.
Hi, all you beautiful souls. I'm Nancy Harkins, author of Your Words Have Power. I am honored to be featured on EnergizeUtv, a powerful space for inspiration and high vibration connection. Angel Marie, thank you for curating this platform that uplifts the frequency of humanity. Today, I'm sharing a golden nugget from my book, Your Words Have Power, to embody authentic empowerment. Practice speaking in first person, such as I believe, I think, I feel, my perception is, my opinion is. When doing so, you demonstrate personal responsibility for your own thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Whether you are on a path to healing, growth, or leadership, remember, your voice matters and you are not alone. Thank you, Angel, for this amazing opportunity. I can't wait for y'all to watch our full episode. Let's rise, shine, and align together.
Fabulous, fabulous. Oh my gosh, Nancy will be coming on next week to help us out in the beauty and that energy. So as we move forward, let's go to the next segment, because I'm always get so excited, because this segment is all about understanding how you can release negative energy in 30 seconds or less. So here we go. Let's take the 30 seconds. Take a deep breath in. And release it and release it, release it. Imagine this energy field clearing and feel your biofield and clear and cleanse and breathe that in and take that energy in as it clears and cleanses. And imagine that this is clearing out all the negative forces all around you and dissolving all the patterns. And now let's open up our chi. Open up our chi. There you go. And as you open up this beautiful chi, what are we going to do? We're going to breathe in and we're going to be open to the divine messages, not just from Simone, but also from your divine messages, from your divine union with your connection and that appointment to your wisdom, your information, and your knowledge. So breathe in and let's just absorb this energy from the universe of this beautiful healing, abundance, beautiful relationships, great spiritual growth, to how we show up in our energy field for our great health. Feel this energy. There you go. And I want to say thank you again for being here today, and just take that energy in. Beautiful, beautiful. So let's move on to the next segment. And the next segment is the Reiki for Life segment. And did you know that Reiki does help with self-sabotage? That was one of the questions. And it's yes, science even explains. Remember how we said self-sabotage is really a brain wiring issue? It's your nervous system prioritizing the short-term relief of avoidance over the long-term work of success. You are literally addicted to familiar chaos. Whoa. Did you hear what I just said? I don't like actually saying that out loud too much, but you know what? It is true that we get stuck, don't we? We really do get stuck in our stuff. To remember that stillness isn't lazy, it's sacred. And Reiki gives your nervous system permission to do what? To finally exhale into knowing that you are that beauty, you are that amazing person inside, and that is going to help you. And remember, Reiki is a powerful catalyst for this to shift. It channels universal life force energy to those like where you get stuck, the contagious, that like you get really stuck in there, and it actually helps those areas and that old tease. I don't want to say the tease, and it gets rid of those old tears and the fears, and allows your nervous system to move out of the high stress and go into low, and then that low frequency of self-sabotage. We don't want that. When I put my hands over people and we start to move energy, I'm really just amplifying that coherence between the brain and the heart. We're not just moving energy, we're giving you, your brain, that signal that says, hey, let's recalibrate this. Let's move on from this. So that's really what we're doing, and that's what Reiki can really help you do. Because if you are tired of knowing what you should do, remember the feeling of that, and you feel trapped, and you want out of that, well, then you're ready to finally break the self-sabotaging, that loop that's going around, and you're ready to finally break it. And I'm so excited because we're going to do that today. So if you're ready, get a Reiki session today. Let's recalibrate that energy and step into your full, powerful flow. And I really like this next quote. As self-sabotage isn't a lack of selling, it's a frequency mismatch. And I've said this before, self-sabotage keeps you in the loop, but that loop is that frequency mismatch. And again, Simone's going to help us come up with that. But before we do, the next segment we're going to talk about is the crystal segment, one of the faves of everyone, and it helps you believe in yourself. This crystal helps you believe in yourself, and to help you boost your confidence and your courage. So, but before we do that, we're going to be right back after this commercial message, and then we'll talk about the crystals, and we'll be right back.
Traditional business cards are often lost or forgotten. This can lead to missed opportunities and wasted time and money. Java Logics offers a unique solution. Eco-friendly paperless business cards that are easy to update and share. With our QR code, you can share your card with anyone, anytime, anywhere. It's the easiest way to share your details. Interested in getting one? Click on Get Offer and get your own digital business card today.
If you're ready, get a digital business card, because everything is going digital. It is. And if you don't have one, you need to get one, because it is the way to go. Just go ahead and check out Preston Mordelli. He is a ninja when it comes to that. And I want to say again, thank you to everyone for being here on the line. I celebrate you and I see you. And so thank you so much for being here and being a part of the 65,000 that are viewed every month. You're making this possible to really get that energy and my commitment out and mission to the world to get that out. So let's just jump right into the next segment. And the next segment is the crystal segment. I promised you, and it is Spar the Right. Sparrowlight. There we go, Sparrowlight. And I do have it. This is the Sparrowlight. Yeah. And it is really funky. And that's why I had to bring this one on, because it is amazing, because it's really an understanding that this is a powerhouse for three critical things: courage, focus, and truth. If you're stuck in the cycle of self-sabotage, it means you need a fierce interim champion. And that's exactly what this white, and I also have a black one, this crystal goes straight to the core of the resistance and raises your courage, your drive, and your focus in levels to heighten you never knew you had. And let me tell you, just holding on to this, holy moly, holy moly, holy moly, right? It really is. And then we also have the black one. Now, I'm telling you, this is pushing you to realize that your dreams are not just possible, but right now in what you can grasp. And that's the biggest key. And it really does pick, it is here to provide this for you, to share that vitality and energy needed to push you forward with hard work and dedications. You just don't know. It's just like amazing. Now, fun fact about this is it's the world's most important source of zinc, making it a key mineral for producing brass and bronze. That's a key one, because the zinc is really important. Now, we've gone over zinc before and about how zinc helps you and where you're going and how you're going. And so this is a powerful one. You want to go and get it. So beyond courage, it's a potential tool for energy alignment also. But yet it's a powerful manifesting tool. And that's the big one too. And it's similar to hematite, and it's acting like a mirror. So it's attracting. And you don't always like that mirror, but it really is that mirror. So knowing this and understanding that it's amplifying the energy that you put out. So you put out negative, you're going to amplify the negative. Ooh, you put out positive, you're going to get the positive. That's just the way it is. So finally, the most understanding is what? That it helps you to recognize deception, not just in others, but in yourself. It gives you the clarity, whether the information you are receiving or the excuses you are giving are the truth or carefully constructed deceptions. Whoa, let me tell you again. And it also is a grounding energy, clarifying your true desire. I love this. And it's depending energy and outer negativity. And it acts as a perfect energetic support for anyone ready to break free from the sabotage, and leads with powerful unintended certainty. Ooh, go find your peace today, because it is a powerful one. So that being said, I'm so excited, because as the energy conductor and that energy alchemist, moving energy, that crystal is a powerful one. But the other powerful thing is self-sabotage. So we're getting ready to bring on Simone here that's going to help us. And now she comes here with a best-selling author, a mind health expert, and a beautiful medical medium. And she's so much more than that as a friend also. So let's welcome her on right now to the show. Here she is. Thank you so much for being here. I so appreciate it. And you know what? I know who you are. I just love you. So go ahead and tell the viewers, who are you?
Thank you for having this show. It's amazing, really focusing on energy. And sometimes people hide behind science instead of using energy. And so I'm going to disclose that was me. So I was actually born with a lot of gifts, medical intuitive. I could see the future. I knew things before they happened. And I really had the ability to see disease in people. So I helped so many people move through that so that they could find a cure, which was really interesting. But my personal thing is, for me, I just really love how you're reaching out to other people. I love doing that too, but I do it from a point of working with the brain and then how the brain can interfere with our energetic level.
So where do you live at? Where are you from? Do you?
Well, I'm from Canada, and I live in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Okay. Fabulous. Fabulous. Wonderful. So let's just dive in because I know the viewers, they're ready. They want the awesome golden nuggets you've got on this self-sabotage to help them to get out of there, right? I mean, like, so the first one is I really like this one. The biggest wall you have to climb is the one you build in your mind. Can you talk about that and about self-sabotage? Excuse me.
That is a very deep question. So I have a saying, yes, all pain begins in the brain, but also all our thoughts begin in our brain. And we can use a lot of energy and a lot of movement, but we still aren't getting results. And that's where you come in to clear that energy field. But then that person comes back and they're still creating that same energetic field. And what I discovered in what I was doing is that we need to feed our brain a specific nutritional program so that we can actually raise the vibration of our brain so that all the work that you do sticks and lasts. So people get that optimal result. And what I found with that too is self-sabotage is really sneaky because a lot of people don't realize they're doing it. And how it shows up is, well, I'm too busy, or, oh, I'm overscheduled. That's a type of self-sabotage. But the also thing too is the intuition. My intuition says that that's not right for me, or it just wasn't meant to be. And like you mentioned earlier, our unconscious mind, and what is science has proven is that the brain doesn't like change. So it'd rather keep us stuck where we are right now than changing. So if you don't have the nutrition in your brain's in fight or flight, and then you're trusting your intuition, there's a big filter there from limbic brain going, no, don't do it. Even if it's the best opportunity in the world, something just doesn't feel right. And so when you actually feed the brain the right resources, you have that balance, that beauty, where you can actually start making decisions that your intuition is on. I've had so many people tell me that they have lost connection with their subconscious mind, their intuition, and they're fighting each other. The conscious mind and the subconscious mind are fighting all the time. So the messages get conflicted. So when I just actually had an opportunity, there's a gentleman I'm working with. He has an opportunity to work with this company that is a high energetic field. It actually has frequencies imprinted in a patch. Mm-hmm. And they're using this for performance, to help with sports performance, and also to some relaxation. And he has this opportunity to work with this company, but this guy was so coming from integrity, honesty. He felt really skeptical about it because his intuition is off. Now, that is self-sabotage.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, that's a good one.
It's pretty heavy. And so with what you're doing, you're clearing that field for them so that they can see that opportunity. And then to continue that, you can keep doing the Reiki and all that sort of thing to make it really go to a deeper level, is really getting the brain to be on board instead of resisting that change.
Yes, and that goes right into this 2018 brain science study suggested that self-sabotage isn't just our brain's reward center prioritizing the short-term relief over the long-term win.
Yes.
That one I was intrigued with. Can you kind of break that down for us?
So that goes actually into like reptilian brain, limbic brain, where it's the reward, avoiding pain, because sometimes the long-term goal requires a lot of work and a lot of effort and consistency, which can be a form of self-sabotage, is the consistency in doing things to move the needle. And so that's the pain, is because everyone sees the instant success, but that took 20 years.
Yeah.
Right? And all the pain, the struggle, and all that sort of thing. But all they see is that. And that's also, too, what you see on social media. You see the beauty, you see the result. You don't see the hours and hours or years and decades to get to that statement. And so, again, that's misleading. But the innate nature of people is to avoid difficulty, to avoid conflict, to avoid pain. So that prevents them from actually achieving their long-term goal, which could be their passion. But it's just an interrupt that, oh, well, that didn't work out today. I've worked with a lot of kids and they've tried like a certain sport. Well, how many times did you go? Once. Well, I wasn't very good at it, so I want to quit. And I'm like, well, you only get good at things if you keep doing them over and over. So that, as you see in a child, the self-sabotage. Right? The instant reward wasn't there. Some people, 1 in a million, have instant success. They're the protege, right? And so then they're like, wow, and they continue on. But it's what about everyone else?
And
How to keep going.
Interesting. Great one is also, as you said it, and viewers, I really want you to write this down because it is something that we are hardwired as human beings. Not to be human doings, but yet human beings, let's just stay there for a second, is that we're hardwired that we're going to make everything easier on ourselves. So, of course, change would be in the way of that, just like Simone said. So I want to just reiterate that because it's a really good one for us to step into, that you're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. It's really, it takes, so take me on something that you would when you coach somebody to help them through this. They were here and now they're here. What did you give them to get over to here? Just one thing is okay. So viewers, get ready. Listeners, you're going to get it right now.
That's right.
Something you can do that will change your life in self-sabotage.
Oh, that's interesting. So there's a lot of layers to that. I think the first thing is what you're always talking about, is take that breath and really go inside and ask yourself, is your why, what is your why? Is your why big enough to move through this difficulty? And you have to have a really strong inner purpose to override that. And then that breath, you can access executive functioning to override that limbic fear, the one that wants to keep you stuck. And accessing that executive functioning takes a moment, and also going deeper into your sense of self, and also to visualizing, is this your potential future? So those are our strategies. It's just, again, slowing down life, being present, find that balance, and also to do the hydration. It's very important. That if you don't do that, it's harder to access executive functioning, because every thought actually utilizes water. Every movement that you're doing utilizes water. And people have lost that connection. So I think just slowing down, getting a sense, and if you do feel that fear, write out what it's about. And then you see, when you're on the other side of that fear, what would that look like?
That's a beautiful one. Absolutely. That's a writer downer for sure. And the thing is if you're thirsty and you go, oh, I'm thirsty, you're already 5 to 10%. This is science, 5 to 10% in dehydration. And they say that you will have brain fog. And I have a timer that goes off every 15 minutes. I don't do it on the show anymore because people were telling me, Angel, that's annoying when it goes off. I'm like, okay. All right.
So that right there, I'm going to say, what they're doing is a form of self-sabotage, which is very interesting because you're sending a reminder to the world to do it. And that ding is also a strategy to overcome self-sabotage, in the sense that if I don't want to offend anybody, but on your phone, doing that reminder, because that reminder, take a sip of water, walk around, put your arms above your head, get your energy flowing, is hugely impactful. But I do understand it because sometimes the sound doesn't come across online as well. But it is, those strategies are huge, huge.
Huge, huge, huge. And I want to say thank you to John for being on and everybody else, Linda and everyone else for being on. I see you. Thank you so much for being on. I know Simone is amazing, right? Totally. Yeah, they're already like clamoring how wonderful. So let's move on to the next so you can give some more great little tips. Change happens when the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change. Ooh, now Tony Robbins says that, and it's so true. So let's give us something that we can use with that one.
Oh my gosh, that's deep. I think you should even say it again.
Let's say it again. Go ahead.
Absolutely. Let's say it again.
Change happens when the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change.
Whoa. And that's where we go into too when you talk about trauma. When you talk about emotional abuse or financial abuse, like how far do you have to go to get that pain big enough to change? And so my challenge is for everybody is when you get that red flag, when you get that first instinct that you should leave or change something, is when you could actually should do that. And that's accessing executive functioning, but it's also taking that moment. What is in my highest interest? And what can I create and look like if I wasn't in that situation? So I think that is instinctual in our nature. And I say all pain begins in the brain. So if your brain is balanced with all the resources and nutrition that it needs, you can move through that pain really fast. So the tip that I'm giving you for that, because I'm going to end it, because I know I'm going on with this, but the one strategy you can do so you can access that to move through that, the pain has to be huge, is really starting back to eating real food. Eating real food feeds your brain in the way that it needs so that it can make decisions. And we've lost as a culture the connection to the energetics of everything we eat changes our vibration. And if that vibration is lower and it's plastic and it's metal, then that changes our ability to be the best that we can be, but also our humanness and who we are.
Beautiful. So what she's saying, writer downers, is what? Feed your brain with better, healthy food. And you know what that is. We're not getting into this. Isn't a nutritional thing. And you know that I've had food people on before. I talk about it all the time. And you need to feed your brain. And that's the important part of this. And the other thing is really hearing her and write this down is be your own critic. Or be your own. It's like this weekend, I want to see this weekend look like this. And most of the time we don't do that, right, Simone? We just go into the weekend and we go, oh yeah, I could do, but what do you want? What is your intention? Now you keep saying executive brain. So listeners, I want you to understand that when she says the executive brain, because that's a new word for some of you, because I don't call it that. I call it the fight or flight, or I call it the higher. That's all she's meaning, right?
Yeah, so actually it's in your frontal lobe where the executive functioning comes, and that's where you release dopamine, which is the motivator to get you to actually take action, but it also gives you the ability to know right from wrong. So it's actually has a physical location. It is there. It's the executive functioning. And so I call it that. But you can also have, when you have that, you can also connect to your spiritual self, your higher consciousness in a, I guess, less foggy way. The message is clearer when you have that ability to access that and not coming from fear, which is in a different part inside your brain.
So she's not saying you don't have the ability. You do have the ability. We all have the ability.
Everyone does. That's what makes us human. That's what makes us human. Yes.
But it's just taking the time, right, viewers? And And listeners, taking the time to stop, quit moving so fast. And I like this, Wayne, the brain science suggested in 2017 that relationship experts stated that self-sabotage, sabotaging love, is often driven by a deep fear of intimacy or feeling unworthy. Now, I want to dive into that because I'm being honest here, I haven't been with anyone in a love relationship in almost 20 years. But yeah, 20 years. So that has to be me. It does, right? It has to be. I'm self-sabotaging my relationship somehow in me.
Well, there's a couple layers to that. That could be a choice that you have, that you're choosing not to be in a relationship. And that's not necessarily self-sabotage. It could also be, yes, protection in some way. Because, and I'm going to say this is a beautiful thing to be in relationship with the right person. And so that is a frequency and attracting that frequency. And maybe that hasn't been your focus of attracting somebody who truly sees you, but we don't know that right now. But it could be a possibility. There's so many possibilities. You could just simply choose, I'm going to focus on my work. I'm going to focus on these sorts of things. But then when you do that, the balance isn't there. So relationship really is somebody to witness our beauty, our successes, and who we are. And that is what really I think people are looking for in a relationship, is finding that person who can be in that place where they see them and see you for really who you are. And some people are hiding who they are, which is interesting because when that happens, they can also attract the wrong person. So again, you don't really want to attract somebody who makes you less than who you are.
Mm-hmm.
You want to attract people into your life that really fill you in the sense of expansion, not making you a whole person, but just expanding the greatness of who you are, because a team actually really makes things easier.
Beautifully said. I love that. And so can you take us from a client that came to see you that was here and then came to here? Can you give us something, a couple of more? Because you know me, I'm always wanting an actionable, doable thing. Absolutely. So that they can walk away with it. You give us that.
Oh, I have so many, but one came to mind because she was 27 years old. And I have like kids all the way from 5 all the way to 100 kids in both categories. And she was 27 and she was addicted to 10 drugs, all sorts of different drugs. And she actually was a demo in one of my courses where I teach dynamic brain healing. I teach a concussion brain injury protocol. She was a demo and she was distracting, which is a form of self-sabotage. She was distracting. She wanted everyone in the course to hear her. And in this sort of space, there's other people there. So I had to protect the energy of the people. So I said, you know what? We can share that at a different time, not right now. Well, that put her into rage. She was mad. So I addressed that because the energy has to be addressed. So I'm like, she hates me right now. She doesn't like me right now because I'm containing her energy so that everyone can get the benefit. And so she did the demo, she did that. And she also started the brain nutrition program that I have. And I got a text 3 days later from her, 3 days, only 3 days. She goes, I really didn't want this to work, but she's like, it's working and I can sleep. I have less anxiety. 2 months later, she was off all of the drugs. And then 3 years later now, she is still that way. And she got her dream job. She moved through all the self-sabotage. She shows up on my challenges all the time. I work with her. And it's a journey of doing assessment for the brain, getting the right precision nutrition into the brain, and then also to the ADHD component, which we haven't really talked about, because she has ADHD trauma and concussion. So all those piled on each other. But she just moved through that with, again, getting the right nutrition into her brain, also doing the manual treatment. But for people out there, you don't necessarily have to do the manual treatment because I don't know where you are in the world. But again, it's finding out, what does your brain need? And I do have a quiz for that people can take that quiz and find out if their brain is optimized. And if it is, we just celebrate that. And then if it isn't, like, how do we make that better on that journey?
That's beautiful. I love that, because that's the thing, is that we're all hardwired differently. But the thing is when we really treat that, and she stayed with it. That's the big thing, and is staying with it. And, I've really enjoyed all of the wonderful things that you've given us today and all the great golden nuggets. And I know that you have a fabulous free gift. What is that free gift?
Well, the free gift is to actually sign up for my Self-Sabotage 3-day challenge. It is free. I also include a meditation. So if you sign up right now, we can send you that meditation instantly. And or you can also watch the videos or catch it live when we do it live, when I do it live. So there's all sorts of ways. So we included all of that into that gift so that we can meet people where they're at.
Oh, I love that. I'm going to leave that up for a while, and I also put it in the chat for everybody. So, and it is a really good one, because we don't see, just like Simone started this whole thing, and it's so true. We don't see our self-sabotage. I'm blessed. I have many coaches, and I have people that will say, Angel, what the hell are you doing? and I'm like, what? And a lot of times I didn't see it, and it's okay. We're human. And we just adjust. And remember that. We just adjust. Any final words that you'd like to, one more thing maybe to teach that says, do this one thing that can help you?
Well, I think the first thing that came up when you said that is the gentleness. Gentleness with yourself, because we do need other people sometimes to show us where our blocks are, because the block is there. We don't know the block's there. So having that guidance and having that gentleness that, it's okay to be where you're at, and understand that there's a possibility to move through that with so many different things. But I think, just being gentle and having the gratitude of where you are right now. And I know, so I've told this to so many people, and they're like, well, I have nothing to be grateful for. And I'm like, that's self-sabotage. And I'm like, okay, well, do you have a pet? Do you have, something that you really enjoy doing? And it's like chunking it down to that, because their heart is so closed. They didn't have the capacity for gratitude, and that blocks success, but it also creates self-sabotage in a way. So finding that one thing, because there's so many people listening to this, that in the morning, wake up and have gratitude for one thing, whether it's waking up, whether, you had a nice day yesterday, or you had that sip of water, that you have the ability to have that sip of water. It's gratitude and feeding your body. So it's like, it doesn't have to be a big grandiose thing. And starting off with that gratitude and saying this every morning, I wonder what opportunity will present itself today.
Ooh.
And that bypasses all the self-sabotage, because you're just wondering, which is magic.
Beautiful, beautiful. Hey, those are writer downers. I love it. Thank you so much, Simone, for coming on and giving us all of these wonderful, awesome golden nuggets and your free gift. I appreciate you. Until I get to see you next time, I'll talk to you later. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Angel. You're a blessing.
You are so welcome. Bye now. Awesome, awesome. And as we move now to the next, and this is one of the things that was one of your favorites, I know, is also the next segment, which is the personal calibration transmission. So everybody take a deep breath and get yourself comfortable. And, you heard what Simone said, and I brought her on because she is such an expert with the brain also. And you heard what she said, that we have to feed the brain. And she's talking food, but then also feed the brain. So I want you to take a deep breath right now with me, and then let it out. And as you start to take this in, feel this energy and this reset that's going to start to happen. And as you breathe deeply, I want you to have these soothing waves of energy healing washing over you. And as you feel this washing over you, let's remove, release, and let go of any and all energies or vibrational fields, belief systems, or ancestral energies that no longer serve you. And let's just feed into that beauty of that energy. And keep your breath, so breath in and breath out, and feel that energy as we're starting to remove and release. And as you breathe in with that celebration, that nurturing energy that's coming in of respect and beauty and love and abundance and joy, beautiful relationships, to feel good energy all around you, that feel good. I want you to take a moment and keep breathing that in. And as you breathe that in, you're changing the synapses. So in this beautiful way of this breathing, you're going to breathe in with that honesty, with that growth inside. And that thankful gratitude, it's one of the biggest ones, is that beautiful thankfulness, grateful gratitude, that kindness, that happiness, breathing into that peace and compassion. Hear my voice, but really feel my voice as you are stepping more into that energy, and as it is calibrating and activating your creativity, your imagination, the beauty of all the miracles that are going to happen, and the wonder of it all, the wonder. And as we say this aspiration, this passion, this drive, this commitment, breathe that into all of this beautiful increased intuition, inner knowing, inner guidance, wisdom, and that intuitive awareness, that psychic sense of understanding. Breathe this in. And as we're breathing this in, any and all energies are washing away that are in that self-sabotage. Breathe it out, take it away, and just immerse yourself in these waves of energy, healing and abundance, and integrating, activating, calibrating, igniting this energy down to every fiber of your being, to every cell nuclear, to every system, to every organ, to every DNA and RNA. And feel this energy as it comes through you. And really feel my words as you breathe in with this enlightened awareness, this inner peace, this consciousness, connection, alignment, and calibration to your higher self. Limitless, beautiful, limitless rejuvenation and wholeness, and saying and feeling this beauty. I am perfect. I am whole. I am love. I am harmony. I am happy. I am strong. I am powerful. Just immerse yourself into these waves of energy healing and feel this, and just imagine this limitless flow of energy, of abundance, to relationships, to activating your highest potential. Just let it absorb. Feel my words, and as it's absorbing into your energy field now, and feel how it's absorbing this, your divine connection and union with your higher self, with your God, that be all around you. And just visualize the infinite energy of this beautiful relationships and great health, great abundance, to the beauty and the wisdom of how you show up and serve others. And feel that, and imagine the universe and its limitless healing unfolding right in front of you and taking it out. And in that feeling, let's sit with this now. Sit and breathe with me and relax your energy and feel this. It's a reminder to you. You are that light. You are that beauty. And breathe. There you go. Take a memory picture of how you feel right now with this calibration, with this transmission right now that has changed your energy field, and it's activating this. Take a deep breath and let it seal in. Let it seal. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. There we go. And now go ahead and start to come back and move your hands, move your feet, kind of move around. There you go. And start to come back. And as you start to come back, put that smile on your face because that was awesome. I love that you to play with me for a little while with this beautiful transmission. And you know, I would love to give you a free gift because I would love to get to know you. And because you are a valued VIP, and I'd love to get to know you. So go ahead and take a picture of that QR code, get on my calendar, and let's talk. And again, thank you. I see you and I celebrate you for being here, for sharing this out with everyone. Smash that button on that YouTube so that you get the videos first of all the shorts that I do, because you never know what I'm going to do. It's so much fun. So I love you so much, and that is why I am here every week on Thursday at 11 o'clock Pacific and coming at you with wonderful global impact with all these wonderful guests that are coming on and experts. Next week, we have the amazing Nancy Harkins is going to be coming out, and she's going to be talking about conscious communication, how we really step into how we talk with each other, how we really show up for each other. It's a powerful one, that is. So I'm looking forward to seeing her next week. And, you know, as we start the song, I want to remind you of something. And as I remind you of this is your energy is the music of your life. So keep it tuned, keep it flowing, and keep it shining bright. And I'll be here every Thursday for you at 11 o'clock Pacific with guests from all over the world, and also to help with that transmission and understanding energy with all. And it helps you to bring you to having more wisdom, energy, and those global nuggets that will bring you up. But remember, you, I'm talking to you. You have a message, you have a story, and I want the world needs to hear that. So reach out to me. I'd love to feature you here on EnergizeUtv. So until I get to see you next time, shine your frequency, live your harmony, and you know what? I love you. I love you so much. So let's dance it out and really connect. As I say, thank you to everybody on the line, from Linda to John to Mona to everyone here today. Thank you so much for being here, for sharing this, because you're the one that makes the difference. You are the one. So as we sing this out, get it moving. As we get moving, through the energy, and let it go to you. The words I wrote just for you.
Fire and soul, look within your heart, let your spirit flow, ask for what you want, show them what you got, take it to the top, don't you ever stop, shine, shine, shine on, raise your vibration, shine, shine, shine on, looking for the answers, seeking you will find. Open up your heart, leave it all behind. Smile and laugh, always give back. Glowing like a star, show them who you are. Shine, shine, shine on. Raise your vibration, shine, shine, shine on. You're the secret, you're the answer. You know who you are. Look within you, breathe and focus. You're a shining star. Shine.
You're that shining star. Yes, you are.
Shine on.
You're that shining star, and be that shining star every single time for yourself and for others, because you're the one that makes the difference. And remember that you are the music of your life. You're the conductor. So make it beautiful, because that's what you are. Until I get to see you next time, I love you, and I will see you next week.